Hey, just to follow up on the details of resources available for this book, there's a great one. At any rate, I have created an instructor resource account for you, cengage.com/login, and I put a link in the email as well. Your username is your email address. Password is welcome1 with a capital W. And I've loaded the book for you. So here's the title that we have en route to you, or actually you already received. We have MindTap. I'm going to show you what that looks like in just a second. The instructor companion site, which includes all of the test banks, flashcards, etc. And then we do have a testing software, which is a test generator. It allows you to create tests from the banks in multiple different versions or formats. At any rate, the book does come with MindTap, the loose leaf version, which is that less expensive version that a lot of students are looking for now because of the cost is oftentimes 50% less. Because MindTap has an ebook in it, it also gives students the option of just having MindTap on its own. Or there's students at Cal Poly, we've had several thousand buy our subscription program. And you can find a link to that in the bottom of my email. I wanted to see if there's one here, which allows students to have one price subscription for all their Cengage courses. So setting up MindTap for your course allows them to use your course in that subscription. So at any rate, I've created a course for you. I'm going to click into this. MindTap self-populates just based upon you entering a start and end date and a name of a course. So I've already done that for you right here just so you can go take a peek. And this is what MindTap looks like. It looks the same as it does for our students as it is for instructors, except that everything that you see, you have the ability to customize, and I will show you that in a second. All of this is also integratable into Blackboard, so we can run it through Cengage or through Blackboard, where you actually have grade return and all that good stuff. Students get 2 weeks of free access to MindTap so that they are able to get into the ebook and assignments right away without having to worry about, getting financial aid, etc. So I'm going to give you a brief tour of what this looks like. We first start with a getting started video for students to walk through how to use MindTap. And then we section everything into chapter modules, or here we have a research tutor module. And students, for the most part, the activities are very uniform based upon the chapter. So the students can know what to expect in each chapter. So we have the research tutor, and if you expand that, just some practice sessions here that help students, kind of build a basis for the course. But again, everything's in practice module here, but there's points assessed. So they're low stakes points. These can be edited to lower point value. But essentially, if students participate in the modules, they earn those points. So it's not really a graded activity. And then we have the chapters parsed off here. I can go into any chapter and I expand the chapter. I will first see a chapter 3 mastery training, and I'm going to show you what that is in a second because it's available in all of our psychology books and it's gained a lot of traction, actually really popular. But we have the chapter 3 ebook. So again, this students can access MindTap all on its own without the need of a hard copy by setting up a MindTap course. Some instructors use this as required across campus because it is across disciplines. Other instructors use it as extra credit. Some use it as extra ancillary for students, just depending on the type of course and how it would fit into your syllabus. So we have the chapter 3 ebook right here. Students can actually take notes and highlights within the ebook. So if I'm in my learning path, which was that middle module, it's going to take me to whatever chapter I'm in directly. If I click on a chapter, it is interactive, so I can click on certain terms, but I can also take notes and highlights right within the ebook. I can add notes. Those will be housed directly on the page. But they also go into the study hub right here where students can create customized study guides based upon all the notes and highlights that they take. Students can change the font size, bookmark pages, and then read to them simply by clicking this read speaker right here. Students can click on the read speaker here, and the book would be read to them. They can manipulate the read speaker over here by clicking on this read speaker, where they would be able to manipulate the pace of the reading or male or female voice. So again, they have the chapter reading first, and then there's 3 chapter activities that are associated with the reading. Now you can click into any of these and actually experience them as a student. These are low value activities here, which means they're probably very quick. It's just a comprehensive check from the reading activity. And then we have a virtual biology lab, sorry, I'm mixing up my words. There is a lab quiz and then a chapter test. So again, everything's going to be very similar, mirrored in each chapter. Now, when I click on my mastery training here, I want to show you what this looks like. Again, this is available in all of our psychology. And what it does is it actually gives students for each chapter. So if we're in chapter 3, for instance, there's 34 key concepts or key we're going to help them with. But what we do is we give it to them in small chunks. So I'm going to say start learning, and it's going to go through. It's just telling me at this point what mastery training is. So students can actually read through it and kind of see how it works. And what it is. So we show them the different levels of mastery training or memorization, and how it all ties into this chapter. So again, this is just explaining it. They can skip this once they go through it the first time and read it. Now we're going to try it out. So what it does is and this is more of a participation grade, but students will say, okay. So it's going to give us, sometimes it'll give us a matching, sometimes it will give us just like this. It's going to give us an image and then the term. And if I say I've got it, I click I've got it. So I'm memorizing these terms and images. Got it. And I might have, again, small chunks. If there's 34 within a given chapter, it's only going to give me small chunks at one time. So once I've done the small chunks, which could be 10, could be 5, just depending on the type of chapter it is. So I'm going through all this. Now it's going to say, okay, I'm ready. So I'm ready to go back and learn it. So I'm going to say, I'm ready. And now it's going to quiz me. Can I identify this? If I say no, I can say, I don't. That's fine. And it's going to slot it back in at another time for me. But if I say I've got it, I can say, do I know it? Move me to the next one. And then I choose, and I didn't get it. So it's going to tell me which one it was. And I say, okay, I got it. Slot it back again for me, maybe in another way. Just depending on what it is, it could give it to me in a different form, a different type picture, etc. But it's going to continue, and it's going to say, no, I don't know it. I decide what it is to give me the right answer. I can look at all the memories right here and I can go through those. But again, it's only giving me these chunks. So it's not going to give me a lot more than a few at a time in the big picture of 34. And then once I've finished a certain amount of, like the first chunk, if I've mastered these memories, I can't get in after until a certain time period, because it wants me to really absorb those memories and then get back in and work on the next ones, where the old ones will actually mix into it. So we call that mastery training. So that's available in each chapter. I did say that everything was customizable, and that happens now by clicking my edit tab on here. If I click on my edit tab now, I can hide things I don't want to use. So if I really don't want to use the mastery training, I can hide it altogether. If I click hide, it hides it from me and the student. But I can also edit. So if I go in and edit, this is where I can actually add a start and end date. I can change the order of something, and I can edit the options, and that would mean edit the point value. I can edit how many times a certain assignment can be attempted, or if they have unlimited, etc. I can add a description here if I want to tell students, this, please, do this before this day, or come to class prepared with this. But anyway, I can add all kinds of great descriptions if I want to as well. And this looks overwhelming and a lot, but we actually have a full department that will help customize your entire course with you and for you with your direction. Because a lot of times assigning the chapters and whatnot can be a lot at once. But for instance, if I do click on a chapter and say chapter 1, I want to set the due date for the entire chapter, I would click here, and then I have a batch action where I could batch the whole dates at the same time. So I'm setting the whole dates all in one. Over on the right side, we have what we call MindTap apps. We have students can take notes and highlights, an RSS feed. We have a glossary, a portfolio where students can build a school portfolio that's or a career portfolio they have access to outside of the class and after. We have the full version of the book here, so it's just the more traditional look where students can search by page number, key term, concept, etc. That study hub I talked about. Questia, where they can have all kinds of great research tools there. We have flashcards, and then that progress actual grade book. And you can pull out analytics. You can see how the class is trending in certain assignments, etc. So at any rate, this is just a brief overview. I'm on campus all the time. If you want to talk about it a little bit more or how different ways that it is used on campus, let me know. Okay, have a great day.